Well, hello to you. So I haven't chatty rambled or chambled at you for a bit. I think it's been a couple of weeks. I know, so rude. You must have missed me so much. Here I am. Do not worry, here I am. And also, before I go any further, I'm just going to read a couple of tidbits from my journal, from the famous journal. It's not famous, I just decided it was then. But without further ado, as of last Chamble, we now have a jingle for the Chambles, or a chingle. There were many entries and they were all marvellous, but this came out a firm winner.
Miranda's
Chatty Ramble. I mean, it's too marvellous. Too marvellous. And then there was also, if you remember Megan, do you remember Megan last time? She came up with
Hi, Miranda.
Hi, Megan.
I'm Megan McCauley, and this is my...
She came up with one that people also loved. But, as I say, they were all fabulous. But it was more of a whole song. It was more of a piece of art. It was about 1 minute, 30 seconds. So I might play that again in a minute. But I officially have a little jingle for the Chamble. Thrilled. So I wrote this from my journal yesterday and I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to share it. It may not be anything new. It may be standard therapeutic, well-being, holistic, spiritual advice, but I think it's important we all share because we all say things in different ways and those ways may affect people. And if my chambling is of any distraction or wisdom to even one person, then that makes me happy. And the point of connecting during lockdown and beyond, because we should be doing this beyond, shouldn't we? Then it's worthwhile. So this is what I said, if I can read my writing from yesterday. Starting to do that very old thing of I haven't quite accepted that I really do need glasses all the time. So I said this: can we perhaps simply boil down self-esteem into two categories? Would you like the fact I was asking myself a question? I know, it's so poetic. It's a sort of maverick. Can we perhaps boil down self-esteem into two categories when it comes to purpose and dreams and something I can't read? First group, those who do not think they are worthy enough to have a dream. People who say, who am I to say I want to be in that profession? Those who are so terrified by failure and by being seen to attempt their unique purpose and skills that they remain stuck, potentially for years and years, ignoring their true desires and staying small as that feels safer than daring to step in a new direction, even when their spirit is crying out for them to do so. People who've been so battered by life experiences and circumstances they cannot see a way out and believe this is their lot. They say things like, nothing good happens to me, nothing will change, I am a nobody. The second group are those who are deeply productive, often become very, very successful at work, those who are always busy, who achieve, who get things done, who often crave excitement and travel and big experiences, and who feel better about themselves with another thing ticked off the list, another achievement, another experience done. But if they stop and get still within minutes, maybe seconds, an unsettled, dissatisfied sensation percolates viscerally. They cannot bear to feel tired or weak or vulnerable, and who are they without being loud or successful? They must quickly cover it all up, keep doing, keep doing, keep doing. And they compare a lot. Both the productive and the stuck lack self-esteem. If both things are done in a negative way, you can be as peaceful and as centered as you like and still have times of being stuck and still have productivity. That's okay. I mean, if it's in a negative situation and those people are at dis-ease and discontent, then both groups are lacking self-esteem, and it all boils down to the same thing. Here's the nugget, team. Identity. What is your identity in? Is it in your productivity and achievement? Or is it in your victim status of never being good enough to do anything or feeling too weak? It's basically two sides of the same coin. Because if identity is rooted in the truth, and the truth is this: everybody is a somebody, nobody is a nobody, everyone is loved, everyone is important, everyone has worth, everyone is unique, everyone has valid dreams, everyone is flawed, everyone is vulnerable, everyone is valuable, everyone is loved, everyone is loved, everyone is loved. If you ally yourself with that, the truth, which is the truth, you can stop from productivity and get to know yourself beyond achievement. And if you ally yourself with that, the truth, you can step into action and make decisions to make new choices to change your life. Because if we believe we are loved, accepted and approved, I know I've said this before, we have nothing to fear. And it's okay to be productive, and it's okay to get stuck if we're rooted in that right identity, which is what I said. So every time you think you are a piece of trash, say, I am loved. Every time you don't feel you're doing enough to justify your existence and comparing yourself to others, say, I am enough. Here endeth the lesson. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, really. That I think, really, any anxiety, fear, discomfort, dissatisfaction, discontent, and potentially some health problems that come from that if anxiety develops into a disorder or, physical manifestations of discontent, from migraines to IBS to whatever, if it's not an identified condition and not completely debilitating, but it is just part of the general sense of anxiety and discontent, then I think it would be interesting to argue whether the solution is identity. Because it just, to my mind, keeps coming back to that if you are at home in yourself and believe that you are loved, accepted and approved, then fear naturally, I was going to say disembarked, that's not the word, my mind has gone, unravels, there's a dis word, you're probably going, it's obvious, Miranda. But let's go with disembarked and say that we're on a train, we're on the wrong train. I'm creating an analogy out of my wrong-wordedness, which was a joke because I created a wrong word out of saying wrong-wordedness, yeah. So, if we're on the train of thinking that we're not worthy, or we're only worthy if we achieve lots of things, we need to disembark, got there in the end, and get on the train that says I am worthy and I am enough. And as that train pulls out of the station and you stick your head out the window, I'm really going with this now, and stay with me, and the wind, when you stick your head out of the car, and not that I regularly do that, I'm not a dog, but you feel that wind in the air and it sort of blows, as the old expression goes, blows all the cobwebs away. And you can just start to let go of all that nonsense, all those thoughts in your head that tell you you are not good enough. Because you are on the train, you are rooted in love and acceptance. And so for anyone who's feeling stuck, then all you need to do is make tiny, tiny steps each day, whether that's your first step is, I would love to do, and then put your goal or your dream or your vision. And then the next day is, what tiny step could I do towards that? If it's getting fit, could you walk for 100 metres? It can be tiny, and then every day you're doing something towards your goal. if it's I want to be an actress, I say that because I related to that, then you're going to watch a film but with an actor in it that you love and admire. You're going to read a play. You're going to look up acting classes. Tiny, tiny steps. And if you're somebody who's constantly busy and you're scared of being still, then I dare you just to sit still and set a timer for 30 seconds and just say, I'm enough, and look around you and be mindful and notice things around you that you may not have done before. And listen what it's like to be still. Listen to your body, listen to your thoughts. So that's my offering. As ever, no idea if it made any sense. As ever, the rule is not allowed to edit myself on the chambles, because that makes it more fun. As ever, am tired, so therefore forget words and say things like disembark and wordedness. Hope you're doing all right. And let's listen to Megan's thing before I go. Megan's lovely tune for the chambles. And I don't know when I'll next be chambling at you. It's a summer, and although nothing's changing in the summer, I sort of feel like I might slow my pace a bit, so we shall see. Here's Megan.
Hi, Miranda. I'm Megan McCauley, and this is my quarantine partner, Penny Lane. I watched your Chatty Ramble this morning and was inspired to write you a theme song. So, based on your own improvisation this morning, here is Chatty Rambles. Chatty Rambles. Chatty Rambles. In hat or in hood, Miranda's heart is so good. Her conversations are inspirations. If we stick to this, then we'll get through this, you'll see. Chatty Rambles. Chatty Rambles. Miranda smokes fun while Penny shows her bum. While in a lockdown, she'll drop the mic down. When life's in shambles, just turn on the chambles and sing.
Go, girl.
Chatty Rambles. Chat.
Oh,
All right,
it ends with a sudden chat. But I love it. It's so sweet. But this is the chosen theme tune. So I end on this. I'm sending you huge love. Remember, you are loved. And you are enough. I've ended with a little choreography. Delightful. How big does my finger look now?